Hey everybody, Tim Timmons here with another 10,000 minutes. Have you ever been in a room or a conversation with people where you said or they said, you know what? Let's love the sinner, but let's hate the sin. I'm going to chalk this one up to stuff we maybe shouldn't say. Love the sinner, hate the sin. I know exactly what I meant when I was saying that. I wasn't trying to be lame by saying that. I wasn't trying to look down on the person when I said that, but actually I was. The way this phrase is actually wielded like a sword of righteousness or truth is actually pretty dangerous. It comes off more like a sword of judgment, which is not mine or yours to hold. So number one, if we are in Jesus and we're actually identified with Jesus, we're new creations, then our identities are no longer sinners, but we're actually saints. And we're actually no longer identified by the things that we do, but whose we are. We no longer need to desperately plead for Jesus to forgive us for our sins. Please, Jesus, would you forgive me for doing that yesterday and again today? And at the end of it, Jesus is going, well, Tim, you know what? I believe that's the last straw, buddy. What if grace just simply is, period? What if grace is actually the air that you and I are breathing in all day, no matter what? The second thing is this line, love the sinner and hate the sin, is usually said from a place of pity or piety or righteousness or judgment, looking down on people, kind of going, oh man, they really blew it, but I'm going to love them through it. And Jesus has some things to say to me and to you about my backpack of judgment. So Jesus actually addresses this in Matthew 7. He says, in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Jesus is not being literal right here, but he's saying, Tim, you're so worried about other people's stuff that you're becoming the judge, jury, and the executioner. And that's just not your job. Then Jesus goes on to say, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye, Tim? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in my own? That's so hypocritical, he says. First, take the plank out of your own eye, Timmons, and then you'll see clearly how to help your brother with his speck. Now, Jesus is not saying that there's no such thing as sin or bad decisions or bad choices that we make. But I think the point Jesus is making is, guys, let's start with ourselves. And because we're loved, period, no matter what, how do we address the plank in our own eye? How do we address the things that I'm actually giving my attention to other than to Jesus? And then we can actually be useful in helping our fellow struggling saints through this life. So before we start wielding this line of, you know what, let's love the sinner but hate the sin, let's just stop for a second. So the 10,000 minute practice this week is anytime we're starting to move into some kind of judgment or criticism of other people, which might be totally founded, let's ask Jesus what he has for us to learn first. What might Jesus be inviting you and I into? Thanks you guys for watching and being a part of this. Would you guys like this if it's actually been helpful for you? Would you share this with some other people if you think this might be helpful for them? And if you want to subscribe to this channel, go for it. If you want 2 free texts that are encouraging for you, you can check out below. Jesus, what do you have to show us this week?